Singait La, Ushgrael. Welcome to day two of MCCCW, or Marine Conservation and Climate Change Communications Week. This is our second year of webinars. We started back in 2023, so we're really excited to have folks join us today. I'm joining you all, as Yande said, from the west coast of what is now called Canada, where I'm a graduate student in the territories of the Squamish, Musqueam, Keetsi, Coquitlam, Quiquet, Kwantlen, Stolo, Semiahmoo, and Tsawwassen people. While I'm here, I do my best to try and be a good neighbor and lifelong learner to honor the land, the air, water, the air, and the culture of this area. A quick note before I introduce Joy today. I just wanted to say a quick thanks to some of our partners, the Gambian Marine Environmental Conservation Initiative, Blue Green Generation, Cube, BlueTrend, Sustainable 267, as well as our friends at the Sustainable Ocean Alliance and Future Swell. So, on to today's business. I'm really thrilled to present to you Joy. She's going to be speaking on climate change journalism. She's an ocean advocate from Taiwan who channels her passion for the ocean through diverse roles, from project management, public relations, to community engagement and storytelling. She believes in the power of collaboration and communication to drive meaningful change for our blue planet. Joy will be speaking to us about climate change journalism and how we can use the power of objective storytelling to raise awareness about our oceans and our warming planet. So, Joy, please take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone, and good night. And
recording in progress.
Wait, sorry. Let me check. Okay, sorry, some technical issue problem. So now in Taiwan, it's 8 p.m. So good evening, everyone. And today I'm going to share about my project among Taiwan and Palau. So actually, I'm a project manager of BlueTrend Media, and it's a marine-focused content platform from Taiwan. So today I'm going to share how do we do this in two different countries through the Taiwan divers. So my topic is how can divers make contribution during the dive trip? So let me give everyone some quick briefing about BlueTrend Media. So actually, we are not just writing articles, but we also have our YouTube channels. So you can see we already have 720 articles and over 4 million views from our website. At the same time, we also have 2.8 million video views on our YouTube channel. And this is our article. It's including something related with scuba divers or something that we also have some article talk about the conflicts among fishers and the divers. And we also have some citizen science program doing at the same time. So actually, we do a lot of things, but we use our content platform to share what we do in Taiwan. So this year we do have a new service. It's called Eco Trip Tourism. It's because our main audience actually it's all scuba divers, and we were thinking about how can we let our audience to make more contribution, and we found that actually a lot of Taiwan divers they are really interested in diving abroad, and the fun fact is in Palau over 20% of the tourists actually it's from Taiwan. And most of them going to Palau is because they want have a really amazing diving there. So we're thinking that can we organize an eco dive trip and then let them engage a part of it and also make contribution to the marine conservation. So this is our idea at the beginning. So actually, Palau is the first nation to protect the shark. And also now they have 80% of the marine protected areas. But at the same time, there's few challenges in their country right now, such as sea level rise, typhoons, ocean acidifications as well. And it's really weird. It's because in Taiwan, when we talk about the sea level rise, people just thinking, oh, it's just higher than maybe higher few centimeters compared with before. But sea level rise in Palau, it's really affect their daily life. So I'm gonna share that later. And also typhoons. So in the past, Palau only have few storms visit their country every single year. But due to the climate change, now they have typhoons. But their constructions, it's not built for against the typhoons. So it's a big problem in Palau right now. And also the ocean acidification. It's also due to the climate change. So there's a lot of scientists going there and then trying to search, do some research there to see how can the coral against with the ocean acidification. So as divers, can we do more to protect our sustainable future if we really want to keep this beautiful scenery underwater in the future? So how can we do that? So our idea is we have a dive trip provide to our divers, but at the same time, we want to combine with ocean literacy. So we have three main idea that we really want to align with is citizen science, empower local, and appointed store. And these three main ideas help us to develop 5 different programs in this year. It's citizen scientist competition, eco dive trip, land-based eco tour, appointed store, and also empower youth in Palau. So about our citizen scientist, actually we have done this in Taiwan around 4 years. And our idea is because a lot of divers, they bring camera on the water, but sometimes they just pick few photos from their camera and then share it to their friends. And then others, they just delete it. And actually those photos can also provide to the scientists to have their database and then to do some research. So we want to create a platform to let the divers, they can upload their photos. So you can see all of the photos on this page, actually it's all from divers. And from the left side, you can see, so each species, they will have their own information page, including the location, the water temperature, and also the water depth, and also the date. But if there is something that it's an endangered species, and if we share their location, might make them more dangerous, then we will blur their location on our website. So based on our experience, we create another citizen science platform in Palau. So we have their own page. It's for the people who have visited Palau before and also have some nice space photos can provide, and then they can join the competition. So we will have 2 different competitions. So one is Friends of Palau Ocean, and another one is Star of the Reef. And you can see there's something on the slides, but it's not really recognized as English. Actually, that's a Palauan name for our competition because we hope that we can really tight bind with Palau culture. So this competition, we also work with the local organization. It's called Palau International Coral Reef Center. It's called PICRIC, and they are the research center in Palau. It's a most famous one. And then we invite them to help us to set the topic this year. So you can see the Star of the Reef is from their idea because they hope that the divers can show the biodiversity of the coral reef ecosystem. But at the same time, how can we really attract the divers to join our competition? So we need to find some prize for them. So luckily, we find some sponsorship with us. Garmin and Atmos, they are both the dive computer companies. So they will provide the prize for our competition. And the game rule for this year, it's only for Taiwanese. It's because we need to send the prize to the people who is the winner. So we're gonna try this in Taiwan first year. And for the friends of Palau Ocean, if you have any photos, you just need to upload minimum 5 photos so you can join the competition. And it's not only just for the prize, and you can see on the presentation, there's uh, Napoleon wrest. So actually, Napoleon wrest is a really iconic fish in Palau, and you can see that sometimes Palauan they will carve their storyboard with the Napoleon wrest shape, and then in the center they will tell you a story from the past. So we got inspired of this idea, so we designed our paper certification as a Napoleon race. So you can see that basically we put divers and we put manta, giant clam, and sharks. It's all the famous species in Palau. And then from the back, so we will write divers name to let them feel like, oh my God, I'm really doing something good, and I got certificate by someone. Yeah, that's our idea. And at the end, all of these photos we will send to some scholar, and then they will help us to identify those species. And then after that, we will uh, pack all of this data and then send to the PICRIC. So this data is not only for our platform, we also share this resource to PICRIC if they need anything, and then they can grab from the photos to see if there anything that they have to find from the photos. And the second one is about our dive trip package. So actually a lot of companies already developed a really, really amazing dive trip package in Taiwan. But what's the difference about our dive package? So our unique thing is we will have an online course. So this course is not just talking about diving, it's also talking about everything in Palau we have learned from our past experience. So in September, actually, we visited Palau, and then we went to see few different peoples from the government, from the museum, from the NGO, and also some scholars. We invited them to become our speakers to share their stories and their knowledge to our people. So in this online course, we are not just talking about everything about diving. We also talk about the Palau's environment policy and also Palau Pledge. And what is Palau Pledge? The Palau Pledge is when you go to the Palau, and if you go to the immigration stand, they will put a stamp on your passport. It's called Palau Pledge, and then you have to sign up on your passport. And that thing is saying that you commit, you will protect Palau Ocean when you are in Palau. So we're gonna share a little bit concept about this. And then the second point, we will dive into the real underwater scenery. So we're gonna share a little bit about the dive sites and something about their species behaviors, including the Napoleon wrest, sharks, mantas, dugongs, and the third part actually is my most favorite part because actually the Palan they live with the ocean for many centuries. So they do develop a really, really nice knowledge. How can we coexist with our ocean? So we would like to share those ocean culture and knowledge to Taiwan divers. But at the same time, we hope that people can understand that there's something happening in Palau as well. It's climate change challenge. So as I mentioned before, that the sea level rise, it's really affect their homeland. So we went to one of the residents' house. We can see at the 5 p.m. It's a beautiful green gown, but when the times goes to the 8 p.m. and the tide is getting high, and then everything was covered by the seawater. So since the climate change really affect their life, every single night they have to take off their shoes and then walk back to their house. And at the same time, they can park their car in front of their house. They have to park their car to the really far away place. And this is the thing that we really want to share with people, that the sea level rise is not joking. It's really happening in someone's life. And at the same time, we hope that we can take some money from the package fees to benefit the local community. So each dive trip package, we will put 1% of the fee to become our education fund in the future. And the next part is about the appointed store. So in Palau, they have a concept, it's called from ridge to the reef. So that it's saying that everything you do on the land, it always affect our ocean. So we hope that we can be aware of our behaviors when we walking on the lands, live on the lands. So we want to provide our divers to have some nice land-based tour, or if they want to buy some souvenirs, they can go to a good local shop to support them. So for the land-based tour, we hope that we can look in something is related with their ocean cultures or anything is about their ecosystem. Now we have three land-based tours. So one is Bai. So Bai is a chief house in the past. In a chief house, they will decide some important things to their village. So there's a traditional rule, it's called Bo. Bo means when they go fishing, sometimes uh, some types of the fish, it's getting less, and then they're aware of this situation. So they will release a board. It's talking about, so during a period, you can't fishing a type of this fish. And this will still affect their daily life until now. So they combine bull and their modern policy together to protect their ocean resource, which is really beautiful. And we want to share this knowledge to the Taiwan divers. And another thing is storyboard. We've said that the storyboard is the way that they can share their story. So Palawan, it's an oral language. So they use the storyboard to let their next generation know what is their stories. And it's really beautiful because they will use a marine species as a shape and then put the story in it. And a common stories about their legend, it's about the man it belongs to ocean and the woman it belongs to land. Sometimes they will carve this on the storyboard to present their past history. And of course, the aquarium. So the aquarium actually is from Pickwick. They have a really beautiful aquarium in their center, and then they will provide the divers to learn about the five-man ecosystem in Palau. So it's a really nice place to go. And about the local goods, we're trying to find some local owned shop, or the shop that provide the local owned souvenir made by the sea glass or the plastic bottles. And also, we want to promote the handmade sunscreen in Palau. It's because Palau, they have a really, really high strict about the sunscreen. And there's a brand of sunscreen. It's from Palau. It's a brand built by a Palauan youth, and it's all handmade, and it's a local brand. So we want to promote this brand to our divers as well. So how do we let our divers to visit those shops or going to the land-based tour? So we make a coupon. So this coupon, we also make a stickers to the shops, so they can put our stickers on there in front of their shops, on their wall, on their door. So our divers, when they arrive Palau, they can easily recognize our sticker. And at the same time, we have to let the shop's owner and their staff know that who is from our brand. So we also make the coupon to let them to recognize, yes, they can get some discount from the coupon. So this year we already have 3 tours, 5 shops become a part of Alliance. And also for each shop, they can get 5 to 10% discount from our coupon. And this one, we are not just provide to the divers who buy our dive trip. We also share to the we also open to the public to use this. So actually this already share on our website. So anyone, they can do the screenshots and then use this coupon when they are in Palau. And another part is about the youth empowerment. It's because we found over 90% of the dive shop in Palau, it's not managed by Palauan, it's managed by the foreigners. And you can't find any dive guide that's from Palau, it's all foreigners. So we found this situation, and then we hope that we can dig more and then know what is their challenge. So when we were in Palau, we visited the community, the youth NGO, the government, and also the dive shop to see what they think about this, because we hope that we can maybe we can provide some resource to the youth if they want to learn how to diving in their ocean. So each groups, each stakeholders actually have a different perspective. So I can share a little bit in this session. So for the community, if you want to follow the Palau history, so normally the women stay on land. They don't go to the ocean. But during the 1990s, there's a woman, she started to become a dive guide in the dive industry in Palau. And she's really unique because actually there's no any woman diving in 1990s in Palau. So we do ask her about some opinions, and she said actually during the 1990s she feels that the marine species is more connected with the people in Palau, because they know that they respect their environment. They also respect them as a marine species. But nowadays, a lot of dive shops, but they are all running due to the commercial goals. So so from her opinion, she thinks that the marine species actually can sense what is the purpose of the divers. And she also mentioned that she feels that if there's a Palauan diver and it's also a guide or the instructor, this person will have more passion to introduce the dive sites because it's their home, and they will willing to sharing their beautiful home and also to let people to protect this ocean together. So this is her opinion. For the youth NGO, they mentioned that in Palau there's only one college, and in general, over 95% of the youth, they study college abroad. And once they study abroad, they might don't want to come back to Palau anymore because they feel like living at other countries, it's easier and better compared with Palau. So they want to fix this situation. And then when we ask about what do the youth think about the dive industry, they say that actually the Palauan youth never think about they can work in dive industry as a dive guide or the dive instructors. They thought they only can be the front desk staff or a captain. So they never think that they want to work in the dive industry. And at the same time, they really want to change this situation. And from the government, they understand that the dive industry is a really crucial industry in Palau. And they also know that most of the money actually it's not back to the Palau community. It's all in foreigners' pockets. And they really want to change this situation and encourage the Palauan to learn scuba diving or free diving, and then they can become the dive instructors or a dive guide. But they are really bad at sharing the information. They don't know how um, to spread those information. So that is their pain point. And from the dive shop, so we interview a Taiwanese. He has a dive shop in Palau. He said that there are a few Filipinos. They go to Palau to become a dive guide or the dive instructor. It's because they can earn more money than in Philippines. So they live in Palau right now. And if you compare the salary from Palauan to the Filipinos in Palau, the Filipinos is cheaper. So that's why the dive shop they don't want to hire the Palauan because it's too expensive. They don't want to afford this salary, and then they want to hire someone that's from the other countries. They are also easy to talk with because they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to back to their countries. So that's why it's really to see any Palauan work as a dive guide or dive instructor in the dive industry. And we really want to change this situation. So actually, from the last page, the youth NGO, there's one. It's called Friends of PMMS. Um, they are also the organization who creates the Palau Pledge, and now they do organize many dive camps for the high school students, so they can provide the open water diver course or the advanced open water dive course to the students. And at the same time, they are not just teaching how to diving. They are also trying to combine those courses with their ocean cultures or the traditional knowledge. And then they hope these educations can have some efficiency to let their youth more willing to stay in Palau instead of living abroad. So we work with Friends of PMMS. We hope that we can empower youth from a fun divers become a pro divers. So this year we cover the training course expenses um, to let one people to become a rescue divers and also including the EFR training. And we are seeking that someone has passion to make change in the dive industry. So in this process that we actually ask some questions to the Friends of PMMS and let them to find appropriate candidate like can work with us, because we hope that these people really want to make contribution to their country and really want to become a dive guide or the dive instructor in their country. So this year we find one is called Cole. He's an athlete in Palau and he's also the Palau Pledge ambassador this year. So we believe he's the best choice. And another thing I forgot to mention is when we think about empower youth in the dive industry, we always thinking that they can become a dive guide or dive instructor. But Friends of PMMS, they mentioned that actually that's also a good way to let the Palauan students to explore their career paths. They might also can become a marine scientist in the future. So that's really make us truly believe that we are doing something good. It's and also might to change someone's life in the future. So beyond those different tiny words, how can we really organize everything and let the people know what we are doing in a really whole picture framework? So as we mentioned that actually we are a content platform, so we know how to write the articles, how to make videos, how to write a really concrete word to let people understand. So what we are doing on this project is we build an event page for this project. So for the public, they can easy to find everything in one page. Why we want to do this, how we do this, and what can they do in this project, and when we'll start, blah 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 blah. You can find in one page. And also we wrote some articles it's talking about some species behaviors in Palau, like red snapper spawning, or like we trying to introduce um, our idea in this project. So we trying to spread our information through the event page and also the articles. And at the same time, we're trying to like use the beautiful contents to attract people to join with us. So we have online course provide to the divers, but at the same time we also make some YouTube videos to attract people's eyes. And also we're trying to share a lot of things we are doing when we were in Palau through the Instagram stories. And at the same time, of course, the social media post is really important. So actually our event page just released this week, but in the past months, we're trying to do some soft launch by the Instagram stories and YouTube videos. So in the past months that our social media reached over 100K viewers to watch our content. And about the YouTube video, we just released 2 weeks ago, and then it's already have over 37,000 people watch our videos already. So in the future, we're going to like keep trying to make more contents like reels, videos, posts, articles to share what we are doing in this project. So in general, that we hope that we can really create a stronger and more impactful diving community. So through this project, we hope that we can use our advantage to reach our goals, including raising awareness among divers. And how can they do that? They can aware their awareness through the online course or through the land-based tour or from our post. And at the same time, we hope that we can make spending contribute to community development. So they can donate a little bit, a tiny money from their fees from their dive package. 1% of that will become the education fund. But at the same time, we organize the appointed store alliance, so they can also go to the shop that we work with, and then buying some stuff from their shop. And at the same time, we hope that they can realize there is some challenge happening in Palau that we really need to pay attention. And the third one, empower youth to explore the career paths. So this year we only empower one person. It's because the course fee in Palau is not that cheap. So now we only can afford one people's rescue divers course price. But in the future, we will trying to expand our dive trip to the different countries so that we can make sure that we will have stable incomes and then keep putting the money into the education fund. That's what we hope. And in the future, of course, we hope that we can copy this scope to other countries. So every time when the divers they go abroad to have a vacation, they always can make contribution. It's not only in Palau. Yeah. So at the end, I just want to share that make the world better together through the innovative actions. So even we are just a content platform, we still keep trying to think that how can we make contribution by our expertise. So that's why we are not just really focusing on writing or making videos. We are also trying to develop different marine conservation projects with different stakeholders like the governments, the private sectors, or even now that we make a new service, it's in Palau. So hope in future, if anyone is interested about this, then we can talk more about it later. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Joy. I'm so inspired. I'm like quickly Googling tickets to Palau. Um, yeah, I just feel like this is such a great story and it has so many elements to it from youth empowerment to local collaboration to listening to the needs of local communities to protect the ocean and to really, recognize the impacts that climate change has with local communities as well. And so I just really want to applaud you. I think this is a fantastic initiative, and I think that what a great way for you know visitors to a place to have a positive impact on not only the environment but local economies. So thank you so much. Um, just wondering if there's anyone in the audience that has any questions for Joy. Do you have um, any aha moments that you wanted to share from the presentation? I think if I can just jump off of some of my experience, I usually live on a little island chain called Haida Gwaii, and a few years ago they implemented a similar thing where they have a pledge and they ask people before they visit the islands to do the pledge because it encourages, ecological and sustainable tourism. And I think that I really love the idea of the pledge and then how you're expanding how BlueTrend is expanding the partners in that. So I was just wondering how did that pledge come about? How did you work with local communities to put that together?
So actually, this year is their 10th anniversary about the
Oh,
Palau
wow.
Pledge. So
Okay.
this idea is from the kids because the kids they always telling the truth. So actually, the government they just trying to collect the voice from the kids and then see how they want to protect their ocean because they're gonna be the host in the future. And then that's how the Palau Pledge become the official stamp on the passports. And I really want to echo with you. It's because once you sign on the passport, it's just like something that, yeah, you really commit something. So that's why you sign up of this. And I think in somewhere in the mental way, you're gonna feel like, okay, yeah, maybe I can't keep to harm the ocean. And at the same time, the friends of the PMMS, they do start from the Palau Pledge, but they also know that's because the content about the Palau Pledge is not gonna change a lot in the future. So they
Mhm.
have to find another way to see how can they keep running their organization. So the Palau page is still keep running, and of course they do face some challenge from the government. It's because they say, if you go to Palau and then pass the immigration staff stand, normally you will get the brochure to talking about what is the rules about the Palau pledge. But actually, when we arrived Palau, we didn't get anything from the immigration stand. So they do have to keep talk with the government to that say, yeah, you have to keep really implement this to make sure that people really understand what exactly Palau Pledge it is. And at the same time, why they have the dive camp now is because they hope that they can strengthen their goal is that let the youth to charge their future. So that's why the dive camp will help them to develop their goal nowadays. And then the dive camp, of course, is really expensive. So you can see a lot of embassy or other abroad organization keep donating money to become their education fees and then providing them to have money to training, become a divers. And I think that it's a really good way to let their kids to learn what does their ocean looks like, because we've heard that a lot of kids they never jump into the ocean, they never know that actually the Palau Ocean is so beautiful, it's so amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation. It's inspiring for me as a diver and an aspiring diving instructor to learn more about what can be done. In Senegal, most of the dive clubs, very similar to Palau, are owned by French or Lebanese dive shop owners. So it's something that's helping me think a bit further about how I would like to structure the way that I do teach and how I would like to structure dive shops. And I'm curious and I'm eager to see how it goes with the rest of the future of the Palauan dive scene. And maybe one day, even if it is more expensive to hire people from local communities to become diving instructors, that maybe they will all come together and offer their own dive shop. That's even if it's a bit higher, it's like you know what you're paying for. It's different to learn from locals and from people to come into the space. So hopefully people can see a value in that and want to pay more for that if they work together.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, actually, we do thinking about next year. Maybe we not just empower one or two youths become a pro divers. Maybe we can develop some training course. It's for how to manage a dive shop, so they can become their own. They can have their own dive shop, and then they can hire the Palawan in their dive shop. That's our ideal, and we hope that we can really implement this in the next year.
Yeah, that's great. I think also many high-risk countries that deal with coastal erosion and sea level rise, maybe it's something that needs to be implemented at maybe even a UN level to say, okay, guys, all of these high-risk countries, like you have the Torres Islands, etc., if you want to come and visit, you have to sign this pledge and pay almost like an island tax or something. Maybe it's something that needs to be revolutionized on a larger scale of how we interact with these spaces and how do we support these places that are currently at a high risk. And the same way that a lot of advocates and organizations are pushing for the polluters must pay when it comes to mining and oil drilling, maybe there needs to be something as well to support countries that are dealing with sea level rise, not just um, for supporting with like carbon emissions, but also maybe even the development of supporting these dive sites for people to be able to share and learn more about what's happening on the coastline and the biodiversity. I see also, thank you. I'm not sure who it is in the chat, but somebody has also shared the content of the Palau Pledge, which is super beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, she's my colleague, my partner. We're doing
Ah,
the Palau project together.
okay. Well, great. I don't think we have any other questions at the moment, unless there's any final thoughts.
Yeah, so maybe I can give a quick last sharing. So actually, because I'm one of the Ocean Leaders Fellows from the Sustainable Ocean Alliance, and when I see how amazing other people are doing their work, I was really worried about how can I do, and I feel like I find my unique way to make contribution is about the content, and that's why it's really important that we have to take serious about how communication is really important, because when you're really trying to make something good for the ocean, you can't just think about yourself and what do you think. You have to think about what does the local community think about. So when we visit those different organizations or other individuals in Palau, we share our concept about the project. I feel I almost cried because they always say, "Oh my God, this is such a good idea," and we're really grateful that someone really wants to take serious about our dive industry. And that point that we realized that, yeah, we are really trying to communicate with other people if we really want to make the marine conservation with the long term way. The communication is the key. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Joy. I completely agree. And I think that the work that you're doing is really helping amplify these initiatives and amplify, the local benefit and the ecological and cultural benefit to having a sort of a destination-led solution for this stuff. So yeah, great work. I can't wait to hear more. Um, Yande, maybe did you want me to quickly, for folks who joined us a little bit late, just to remind you all that there are more sessions happening for the rest of the week, and I might get Yande to walk you through some of the other elements of the agenda, but also just really being mindful and thankful. This is a completely volunteer-led initiative this year, so big ups to Yande and Siali and the rest of the crew that are working really hard behind the scenes, helping pull this all together. And again, all the amazing partners who are involved in Marine Conservation and Climate Change Communications Week. So that's the Gambian Marine Environmental Conservation Initiative, Blue Green Generation, Cube, Blue Trend, Sustained 267, and our friends, of course, the Sustainable Ocean Alliance and Future Swell. So thank you so much. Big hands up, big clap for those folks. And we really hope that you can join us, whether it's 4 a.m. on the Pacific on the west coast of North America or 8 p.m. in Taiwan. We really hope that you can join us for the rest of the week. And there's some fabulous presentations.
Yeah, thank you, Miranda, and thank you so much for the Marine Comms Week and also YSM provide us such a great opportunity to share our project.
Yeah, you're welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. I can clap for myself, as we say in Gambia. When you do something, clap for yourself. Yeah, and thank you so much to the entire team. Like Miranda said, we do have this event happening every day for the week. So tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and Friday, where we have tomorrow a talk from Shakshi Shri talking about ocean governance and youth advocacy and how do we communicate about it and mobilize youth. On Thursday, we have a talk on the intersection of utilizing GIS for podcasting, hosted by Sustain 267, which were also our speakers from our last session that talk about how do you manage climate change from a podcasting communications perspective. And then Friday, we have a close on the new hashtag Commit to Ocean, hosted by Mark Haver, who is also part of the Sustainable Ocean Alliance. That we'll be talking about the road from here to COP and how do we mobilize and build stronger advocacy on the road to COP for fighting for ocean and bringing the ocean conversation to a larger scale, because most of these biodiversity events, it does get taken up a little bit more about climate, but not necessarily the nexus between ocean and climate. So this will be our closing talk on Friday. And just in case you miss any sessions, they will of course be recorded and shared onto our YouTube channel, where you can also see our amazing, beautiful performances. I went back on our channel and almost cried at our opening performance from the last session from my friend's family group in Auckland. And, there's lots of great performances there and lots of great talks. So if you want to catch up on anything you missed, and even the session from yesterday, or if you joined today late, those sessions will all be available and recorded to our YouTube channel. So please make sure to subscribe if you haven't to our YouTube channel, and to find us on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Twitter, and to stay up to date on everything that we have going on with the conference from now and moving forward. Thank you again to everyone so much for participating and being here today as well.
Yeah, thank you